We all aspire to be financially savvy and achieve success. Today, we're diving into the 17 key signs of financially smart people that can pave your way to riches. But before we get started, let me share a quote from Steve Jobs that sets the tone for our discussion. It reinforced my sense of what was important: creating great things instead of making money, putting things back into the stream of history and of human consciousness as much as I could. Now, that's not your typical money talk, right? It's about creating value and making a lasting impact. Money isn't just currency. It's a reflection of our interconnected society, a social network of sorts. And today, we're going to explore how financially smart individuals harness these principles to build wealth. Stick around because we're about to reveal the 17 signs that can guide you on your path to financial success. Hit that subscribe button and join us for an eye-opening journey to financial intelligence and wealth building. Number 1. Clear and well-defined financial goals. Financially smart people have a clear plan for their money. They don't just want to be rich. They set specific goals. For example, they might say, I want to make $100,000 every year by the time I'm 30. Or, I want my business to start making a profit. These goals are like targets they aim for. They make sure their goals are easy to measure, so they know if they're getting closer to them. But here's the thing. Life changes, and so do their goals. They don't stick to one plan forever. Sometimes they start with really big goals and work their way down to smaller ones. Other times, they take small steps toward success, one at a time. If you haven't set a money goal yet, a good way to begin is by figuring out how much money you need for a whole year to cover your expenses. Then, double that amount. This can be your first goal. It's like a starting point to help you get better with your money. Having clear goals helps you stay focused and make smart choices about your finances. Number 2, exercising financial patience. People who are really good with money have something special. They're patient when it comes to making financial decisions. They don't rush into spending money just because they want something right now. Instead, they wait for the right time, especially when it matches their long-term goals. Even if they have enough money for something, they stop and think. They ask themselves, is this the best way to use my money for the future? They're like careful planners. This kind of patience can be hard to understand for people who aren't great with money. Some folks believe that if they have money, they should spend it right away on whatever they want. But the smart money people know the difference between having money and being able to afford something. They're patient and choose to spend their money in ways that make the most sense for their financial future. It's like thinking long-term instead of just satisfying immediate desires. Number 3, living within their means. People who are really good with money do something smart. They live below what they can afford. Imagine they have enough money to buy fancy things and go on expensive trips. They could show off and spend a lot, but they don't. Instead, they think about what's truly important. They don't waste their money on stuff just to impress others. They use their money for things that really matter to them. Once they have a good life, they don't go crazy spending more and more. They set limits on how much they spend and don't let their expenses grow too quickly. They know that if they keep spending more and more, it can mess up their financial stability and make it hard to achieve their goals. So, living below their means they're careful with their money, even when they could spend a lot more. It's about using money wisely, not just to show off. Number 4, rejecting money as a status symbol. People who are good with money see money in a different way than those who struggle with it. They know that not having much money right now, being broke, doesn't mean they'll always be that way. It's like having a tight month where you don't have much left after paying bills. But being poor means you can't earn money, no matter what you do. It's like not having any way to make money even if you try. The smart money people understand this difference, and they don't judge others based on how much money they have. They focus on their own money situation and use their skills to make money when they need to. They don't think that having a certain amount of money right now makes them better or worse than anyone else. Instead, they care about growing as a person and being financially independent, which means they can take care of themselves without relying on others, more than just having a lot of stuff. Number 5, consistently tracking expenses. Tracking expenses is like keeping a record of all the money you spend. It's similar to making a list of everything you buy, like toys, snacks, or games. This helps you understand where your money is going. People who are good with money do this regularly. It helps them know exactly how much money they have left, so they don't run out of it before the month ends. When you track your spending, you become better at handling money. You can see the bigger picture of your finances and make smart choices. It's also a crucial step in setting financial goals, like saving up for something special. To make this easier, you can use tools like Google Sheets to keep a digital record of your expenses. This way you can see where your money is going more clearly. Number 6, establishing an emergency fund. Having an emergency fund is like having a special savings account for unexpected problems. It's money set aside to help when things go wrong, like your car breaking down or losing your job. Some people understand how important this fund is. They make it a top priority, like something they really need to do. The size of this emergency fund shows how prepared someone is for unexpected issues. Some have enough money to handle big problems, while others struggle without it. If you don't have an emergency fund, unexpected problems can really harm you financially. People who are good with money know that having this safety net is vital. They suggest starting by saving at least 3 months' worth of your salary in this fund. It's like having a financial safety superhero to protect you when life gets tough. Number 7, allocating funds for opportunities. Think of your money like having 2 friends. One friend is quiet and dependable, like a bodyguard. This friend is your emergency fund, always there to protect you when unexpected things happen. The other friend is the life of the party, always up for fun and adventure. This friend is your opportunity fund. It lets you grab exciting chances without worrying about missing out. Financially smart people set aside some money just for these exciting opportunities. It's like having a ticket to the coolest events. By doing this, they don't make quick decisions just because everyone else is doing it. They think carefully about what they really want to do with their money. They don't feel pressured to follow every trend or opportunity they see in the media. Instead, they use their opportunity fund for things they're truly interested in. It's like having a budget for fun and exciting adventures. Number 8, understanding taxation. You know how when you earn money, some of it goes to the government as taxes? Well, financially smart people really get how taxes work, or they get experts to help them with it. In most countries, tax rules are like a big, confusing maze. It's up to each person to figure it out. People who aren't good with money often end up paying more taxes than they really have to. But the smart money folks use their understanding of taxes to pay as little as possible. When you understand taxes and use that knowledge wisely, it can save you a lot of money. It's like finding a secret shortcut in that confusing maze. Smart money people know the rules and use them to make their finances better. They know how taxes can affect their money and use that knowledge to make their financial situation as good as possible. Number 9, recognizing the real cost. Imagine you're looking at a cool apartment in a fancy part of town and the rent is $2,000. That's what they tell you it costs, the advertised price. But there's more to it. Smart money people don't just look at that number. They think about all the good stuff that comes with living there. Like maybe it's closer to family, so you can see them more often. Or maybe it saves you time and money on a long commute to work. They also consider if living there lets them do fun things they love, like joining clubs or going to nice places. So they're not just looking at the $2,000, they're thinking about all the benefits they get. This helps them decide if it's really worth the money. Being able to tell the difference between what's advertised and what's really valuable is a superpower for smart money people. It helps them make choices that give them the most value for their money. Number 10, money as a resource. Financially educated individuals see money as a versatile tool, not just a set amount. They know money can be used strategically to make their lives better. Think about a rainy morning at 8 a.m. when you have an important commitment. You might need to take an Uber because of the bad weather, and it's more expensive than usual due to high demand. Now, smart money-savvy people don't just look at the higher Uber price. They think about their options. They weigh the extra cost against the value of their time. They don't want to waste time or compromise their well-being just to save a little money. Instead, They use their money to make their lives easier and better. Number 11, increasing the utility of resources. The big difference between people who are good with money and those who struggle is how they make the most out of what they have. Being financially educated isn't just about having money, it's about using it wisely. Imagine you have $2,000. Now, some folks might spend it all on fancy designer sunglasses, which might make them look cool, but doesn't really change their life. But a financially smart person would think differently. They'd say, what can I do with this money to really make my life better? So instead of the sunglasses, they might choose to spend that money on laser eye surgery, which can permanently improve their vision. The key here is thinking about what you get in return for your money. Smart money people focus on choices that give them long-term benefits and add value to their lives. It's like making your money work for you, rather than just spending it on things that look nice but don't change much. Number 12, spend reasonably on housing. Warren Buffett is a very rich person, but he lives in a house he bought a long time ago for not a lot of money. He said that he's happy living there, and he would only move if he thought he would be happier somewhere else. This shows that you don't need a super expensive house to be happy. Buffett's simple home is a sign that he's careful with his money, and because of that, he can use his money for things that matter more to him. If you're spending less than 30% of your income on your housing costs, like rent or mortgage, that's a good thing. It means you're managing your money well and can use it for other important things in your life. Number 13, stay away from incurring debt. Avoiding debt is a really important money habit. It means not owing money to anyone except for things like a home loan. People like dogs recommend this because if you want to become wealthy, you shouldn't waste your money on paying extra for things because of interest. For example, when you use a credit card, if you don't pay the full amount you owe every month, they add extra money called interest. This can be a lot of extra money, so it's better to always pay your credit card bill in full and on time. This also helps keep your credit score good, which is important for financial opportunities. And try not to use store credit cards too much. They usually have low limits, high interest rates, and aren't very useful in the long run. It's better to be smart about your spending and avoid getting into debt whenever possible. Number 14, start saving for their kids. College savings plans, like a 529 plan, are like a special way to save money for your child's education. They're great because they help parents like dogs start saving for their kids' education when they're young. This means that when it's time for their children to go to college, they won't have to worry as much about finding the money to pay for it. But here's the really good part. When you use the money you saved in these plans to pay for college, you don't have to pay extra taxes on it. It's like a bonus. Starting early is super important because it gives your money more time to grow. It's a bit like planting a seed that turns into a big tree. Even if you don't put in a lot of money at first, the magic of compound returns makes your money grow faster over time. So it's a good idea to start saving for college as soon as you can. It's like a gift to your future self and your child. Number 15, focusing on their strength. Your ability to make money is connected to how good you are at something. No one can be great at everything. It takes a lot of time to become an expert in something, like around 5 years or 10,000 hours. To make more money, you should focus on what you're already good at and keep improving those skills. It's like investing in yourself. When you get really good at something that people need, they might pay you more money for it. This can lead to higher income and financial growth in the long run. Number 16, they are prepared for unexpected challenges. Being ready for unexpected situations is really important to keep your money safe. It might not be a fun thing to think about, but it's necessary. Imagine you have different kinds of plans in place, like when you're sick or something happens to you. You've thought about a lot of stuff. For example, you have insurance in case you get sick, or if something happens to you, there's money to help out. You've even got insurance for your car. Plus, you've made some important documents like a will that says what happens to your stuff when you're not around anymore, and a healthcare proxy that says who can make medical decisions for you if you can't. And here's a smart move. You've saved up some extra money, enough to cover your bills for 3 to 6 months, just in case something unexpected happens and you can't work for a while. All of these things you've done mean you're prepared for the unexpected. It's like having a safety net for your money and your life, so you can keep working towards your financial goals without too much worry about what might happen out of the blue. Number 17. They are generous. Have you ever noticed that when you decide to share your money with your church or other important things you care about, somehow you still seem to have plenty left? It's like magic. When you're careful about where your money goes, you might realize you don't actually need as much as you thought. That means you have some extra money that you can use to help others. It can make a big difference in their lives. And here's a cool thing. When you're generous and give to these causes, sometimes you get some tax benefits, which is like a bonus for being financially successful. So, being generous not only helps others, but can also be good for you in the long run. It's like a win-win. In conclusion, financial education is vital for making smart financial choices. It involves setting clear goals, being patient, living within your means, avoiding overspending, knowing the real costs, and seeing money as a valuable resource. Additionally, tracking expenses, creating emergency and opportunity funds, understanding taxes, and making the most of your resources all contribute to financial well-being. By adopting these principles, individuals can gain the confidence to make wise financial decisions and enjoy a more secure and prosperous life. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss an upload and you can enjoy the excellent content I send your way.